So I think that the toolbox looks lovely with the gold and the black accents of that snap-on sticker. I think I actually got the sticker off of Amazon. I think they were about $3, but it was the best $3 I've ever spent in my life because they gave me instant credibility and respect in the shop. I moved up a couple social classes immediately upon putting them on the box, and I got to be one of those badass guys who only buys American-made tools on principle alone. But, you know, when we make it to the top, we cannot forget our humble beginnings and turn our back on the past. Here we are at Harbor Freight, waving the flag proudly. I don't actually think anything at Harbor Freight is made in America except maybe the jobs. I guess that's good enough. And that's my ex-stepdad there digging through the trash. Make a YouTube video.
I don't want to be on no video.
No? Oh, I'm not gonna make you sign a release or nothing.
I'm camera shy. I don't know, makeup on enough.
So luckily my ex-stepdad there, Gary, was kind enough to help me transport the box home without needing the freight people, which saved me some money. $90, I think. Yeah, I made a video of the bottom box.
Oh.
When I unloaded it or when I unpacked it.
This is the supplement.
Yeah, we had the freight guy drop it off. It's already got 8,000 views. So you can see immediately here in retrospect, this pallet is no good. That is a...
I'm going to pull forward a little bit. I'd like it in though, like this.
Rickety.
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
I wish he would have got that pallet, you know.
Which one do you want it on?
But
in the middle? Or you want it against there?
nobody really thought about the pallet at this point. But I think, you know, learn from my experience. Make sure that, you know, the substructure that's supporting your box is intact when you leave Harbor Freight. He's good, man. He put it right there in the spot. Perfect.
Shift over a little. Yep. I want to be on both, so I want to make sure I'm on it.
I went on 3 edges.
But it started in 2006, so learned everything from the customers, for sure.
You guys always got some pretty cute girls working here too.
Not just the board.
I don't know who the HR guy is, but he's doing a good job.
We've been lucky, I guess.
Gary, you need some help with that?
No, I'll have to figure this out as I go.
So you can see my sticker there on the side.
I can pull it right up, right there,
That'd be great.
on the carpet. Yeah, just move the boxes and I'll back them in.
Okay. Notice how he doesn't say anything about the bicycle. He just says move the boxes. And then he proceeds to almost kill my bicycle twice. I think that's good.
We'll just get that one end on the ground and then we can tip it around. That's right.
So this is where having a broken pallet is not in your favor. And you'll see that I am going to do damage to this box before it's even out of the cardboard box while it's still brand new. You know, I cause a blemish on the box right here. See that? See how it shifted off of the pallet?
I can help you as soon as I stick it.
So, you know, I don't think that the broken pallet helped in that situation.
Put it up on him and then move it around, I think. Stop.
And then my ex-stepdad almost loses some fingers.
Here, I'll let you walk around like you want. That's the bottom.
So this is all the damage that I did, just trying to get it off of that trailer. That's from when it shifted on that pallet jack that wasn't stiff enough to provide adequate support. That could have been from the same incident. I'm not sure about that actually, but that's dented in. And here's this rickety pallet jack that is just, now that's a disaster waiting to happen. You don't put a few 100 pounds on that. I mean, that is not an adequate substructure for anything substantial that you're trying to move around. So this is what my ex-stepdad told me to do, is put some sticks on the ground. I think he told me to do that. I can't remember. Maybe I'm just getting so wise now in my older age that I'm tricking myself into believing that it must be somebody else telling me these appropriate things to do. So here I'm trying to see how much damage I did and how guilty I need to feel about it. Those are more labels. And there is the capacity rating for the drawers and the top cabinet in total. It says 1,500 pounds, but I don't know. You'll see later. "42 inches tall with the lid open." I was worried if it was going to fit in that gap that I got there, because we had to put a ceiling rack in order to make room for the toolbox. So unfortunately the ceiling rack had to be right over where the toolbox is going to be. So I'd like to give a shout out to Paul Farkas, who suggested that I remove the drawers and which would make it easier to take the cabinet off of, you know, the stuff that it ships on. And so I applied his methodology to this top cabinet, so it'd be easier to put it onto the bottom cabinet. And you just move those little clips. That's all that's holding that drawer on. It's one on each side. You push one down, you push the other one up, and voila, you take the drawers right off. Didn't know how to do that before. I talked to one of the support people at Harbor Freight, and he actually explained it to me for reasons that I'll explain later, why I even had to call support. It was an issue with the bottom cabinet, and I'll show it to you. So there's no sense in me explaining it to you. But those tracks are pretty greasy. It's pretty heavy grease. So you might want to do that with gloves on. Also, here's a, you know, I don't know what you call that, imperfection, I guess. It's where it's not painted. There's another little imperfection. I mean, that's really nothing to me. It's a little piece of plastic. It's already chipped as soon as you buy it. Not a really important piece. This drawer I can't open because there's stuff in the drawer beneath it. So you can see how that roll is sticking up and wouldn't let that top drawer open. Now look at these, how they're folded up. This is not your standard issue. This is not how they sell them in the store, and that's not how they came packaged in the bottom box. What happens when you undo this folded up drawer liner is you get all these wrinkles. Look at that. I mean, this is terrible. So it's just all scrunched up. And you can see how it won't even lay flat because of all these bubbles in it, kind of, you know. Effectively, they're like these big old pizza bubbles. And it doesn't even lay flat. I mean, come on. So, not only that, but they short you on that drawer liner also. There is not enough drawer liner to cover all those drawers. So that's what it ships. That's what it's supposed to ship. I had to go and buy another thing of drawer liner, and then that's how they send it to you, all folded up. There's some more labels for the drawers. And this is me taking off the last drawer here. And after I take this drawer off, I will technically be ready to lift that cabinet onto the bottom cabinet. So I'm going to start a timer. Now you can hear in the background a truck just turned off right there at about 10 seconds. And unbeknownst to me, this is going to be the person who helps me put this box up there on the bottom cabinet. Well, I'm still thinking that I got to wait until 6:30 or 7 when my neighbor comes home to help me lift that on there. So that's why I started the timer, because I want to show you how quickly after I was technically ready to put it on there to when the help came. So this dog is about to rush me and lick my face and just run by. And this guy comes along chasing his dog.
Sorry.
It's all right, man.
Misbehaving with the dog.
Hey, you wouldn't be able to do me a favor, would you?
Take a picture?
No, I was gonna see if you could help me lift this on top of that
Sure.
box. Oh man, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
I want to try and catch this beast.
Is he really like
No,
that?
she's good. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna put her in the truck and I'll be right back.
Oh man, I appreciate your help.
Like my dream workbench too. That dog gets out. It's like a reward for the dog because it gets to run like crazy and have fun.
That's right.
I'm gonna start beating it.
So you live around here too, huh?
You know what? It's my uncle's dog. Actually, he lives right here on Terra. Or when you go out Terra towards Ranchito, is like the first house on the left. So I store my boat there. I went to go open the gate to put the boat in, and
You've been chasing the dog this whole time?
Yeah, the dog bolted.
So the red house is the house that him and the dog came from. These green lines are all the directions the dog could have ran, and the black lines are fences. So those are places the dog couldn't have ran. And I'm in the blue. And, this dog navigated to me within 55 seconds of needing help. Usually when dogs come around in my neighborhood, they're don't run in your garage, and they're doing one of two things. They're terrorists, I suppose. Terrorists.
Appreciate your help.
No problem, Scott.
Adrian, I needed some hands right now, man. Your dog is like...
What do you think? Do you want to roll this out so we have good access to it, or what do you think?
Whatever you want to do, whatever.
Oh, man. This is all your stuff.
I just don't want to pinch your finger.
Oh no, I'm good.
That's probably a good suggestion. So yeah,
I don't know if you look. Yeah, take that around.
there's just a bunch.
Oh, so this is the is this the Harper Freight brand or US General?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been, that was what I was entertaining. So
I got a video on YouTube, right? And there's like 8,000 views on this. It's kind of a popular box. It's way better than the Craftsman one.
I think
the wheels are locked right now.
Oh.
This wheel is locked.
there we go.
You say your name is Scott, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I think if we're here, then it'll just go up on and over.
Okay, sweet.
I was minding my own business.
Hopefully we don't throw your back out, Scott.
Oh no, I'm good.
Mom, this is Scott. His dog ran into our...
Yeah, I just happened. Stance came on by, so.
He
You're
made me a
just
new friend.
recruiting people off the
working
road,
out.
huh? Oh, wow.
How are we going to do this?
Yeah, from the bottom.
Okay.
I think once we get. Fine tune it. Yeah. Maybe just line up those corners perfect.
Sweet, man. I appreciate it, Scott.
All right, Adrian, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you around.
Does your dog want a treat or something?
No, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to reward that dog after running like that.
That's right.
All right.
Thanks a lot, man.
No
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having the perfect track.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like we helped each other on that one.
Yeah. Oh, whose dog is it?
Scott's dog. Scott's uncle's dog.
Is this one of the neighbors?
No, Scott's uncle lives like by the library. He's been chasing his uncle's dog for all these blocks. And his dog happened to run into our garage
Oh, really?
right when I need help trying to lift this on here.
Oh, is that a miracle?
So I said, thank your dog. Yes, sir. I don't need to sign it, do I?
No.
Okay, cool. This one too? Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. I already got some tools to put in here too. Look at that.
Is that something? Huh? Somebody just comes by. Oh. You're making a movie.
So originally I was kind of sad that I had banged up that vertical rail, that silver rail. But you can see this one's lined up pretty good. The one on the right was lined up pretty good, and the one in the center is way off. I mean, they don't even line up, these rails. So that made me feel a lot better about banging it up. I don't know why. It's like two imperfections equal a perfection or something. It was kind of perfect. I don't know. It's like two wrongs make a right in that circumstance. For me, at least, it made me feel better that they weren't even lined up anyway. I was kind of like let off the hook. And this is weird because they're not. The top box moves around so much. You know, the fit is not like very precise. But if you got, you know, 1,500 pounds, which is the rating of the top box, it's obviously not going to slide around. It's just weird how loose that fitting is. And it is dusty inside of the box. Surprisingly dusty. Grit and all kinds of stuff inside of the box. So those are the tools that the mailman dropped off underneath. This is actually just the handles that I'm unpackaging. But those two packages underneath are tools that showed up pretty timely as well. So these handles are a little bit different than the ones that came with the bottom box because they're made out of plastic. And look at that, they even give you the Allen wrench this time with this set of handles, which they don't on the bottom box. I mean, not that you don't probably already have them with this huge box, but you know, it's nice to just have that Allen wrench right there because you don't have to figure out which one you need. And look at this. This is like really tacky. It looks like, let's see the chrome plating. That piece is plastic. On the bottom box it's metal, but it looks like a flea market toy. See the chrome plating on there? It looks really, really cheap. But that's because it is really cheap. I mean, in the first video I mentioned that this box looks just like a snap-on box. And this is the Snap-on box that I was referring to. You can see here the bottom cabinet looks pretty much just dead on the Harbor Freight one, except there's 2 drawers that go across the top, and the arrangement is kind of reversed because you have your super deep drawer on the right hand side with the Harbor Freight box, and the size is a few inches less in the width on the Snap-on box, but the depth is much deeper. It's much deeper. So I think actually the Snap-on box has more cubic inches of room in it, even though it's not as wide, because it's deeper. How much exactly? I don't quite recall, but I'm going to do the calculation right now. There's no picture of the top box on their site, but there is that picture right there, and that has a side cabinet even added. But that's the box that this Harbor Freight box compares to, as far as Snap-on. That's the box that really, compares. I think maybe not quality wise, like if you're really going to inspect the quality of both the boxes. I've never encountered one of those Snap-on boxes. But I'm doing the calculation right now. Bottom box, 7 Gs. Top box, 4 Gs. Tax, I don't know, but it's quite a bit. So, the top box on this Harbor Freight model is probably as much as the tax on this entire Snap-on range. You're talking about $13,000 for the Snap-on equivalent of this Harbor Freight tool setup that I got, toolbox setup, which is about a tenth of the price. Not even $1,300 for the Harbor Freight version. You're talking about $13,000 for the Snap-on version, and that's a lot of money. I mean, if you're a shop, that is somebody's wage for 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months. Now we're talking about, this is the back of the lid. You see how it pops out a little bit? So you do need a little bit of clearance in the back of the toolbox. That's all I was trying to show there. And then this is going to be the height of the toolbox. But back to the money that you'd be saving by getting the Harbor Freight and just switching the emblems on it. There's some defects in like the handle part on the bottom box. It exhibits that defect, like this, I don't know, scratches on there or something, and it doesn't have that on the top box. So, that's a lot of money that your shop can be making basically by having another employee for 2 or 3 months. You're talking about 40 hours a week. Shop, the hourly rate of your shop, that what they charge, like over $100. This is the latch on the bottom, and the latches on the top are way different. Way different. Look at that. Completely different. So, I mean, just, you can multiply that out. And then you see how smaller the latch is on the bottom? That's like, what, 5/8 of an inch? This is like, what? I mean, not 5/8, 5/16. That was like 10/16. And also the top bigger latches are held in by 2 screws. The bottom latch is held in by 1 rivet. And the locks are a little bit different. The arrangement is a little bit different. So you wouldn't put the keys in the wrong lock. But you talk about say your shop rate is $100 an hour, just to make the number easy. You're talking about 40. And now this is the defect that I was having on the bottom drawer. See this bottom cabinet. This drawer doesn't open all the way. It's got 30 pounds of tools in it. And this drawer is rated for well over 100 pounds. Look, it won't open all the way because it's sagging too much. See this? I let go of the drawer and bam, it won't even open halfway. That's with 2 rails in it. That's not even 30 pounds. That's like 10 pounds. Now, in Harbor Freight's credit, that could have been from me treating the toolbox roughly as I unpackaged it.
So
Now, see, this.
Either way, they gave me $100 back because you can see that slide is interfering with itself. It won't even work right. So there's bump stops right there. And those are what keep that inner slide from sliding all the way out. That little piece right there. And it's just stamped out of the body of the outer race of that slide. There's the bottom bump stop. And you can see that the slide in the inside wants to hit that bottom bump stop. That's either a defect or something that I caused by treating the box so roughly. And there is a bump stop, that little black piece. There's also one on the top, and you can see that the one on the top is hitting, the one on the bottom is not. The one on the bottom is a little bit, it's just not hitting. I know my finger's in the way, but it's not hitting. You can see it there. So only one bump stop is actually even necessary. This is the slide on the other side. You can see that there's a nice gap in between that slider and the outer, race for the slide. And there's plenty of room there, millimeters, at least a millimeter, probably a little bit more. Now the bad one, that's hairs. It's so close. You put anything in that drawer is going to slide and it's going to hit that bump stop, and it's not supposed to do that. So what I think that this slider is upside down. I really do. I think that slide is upside down. And trying to do this with needle nose pliers, that steel is way too hard to do that with needle nose pliers. So don't even try. So what you got to do is you have to take that part that's stamped out and bend it back to where it was originally before it was stamped out. And that's what I'm doing here with my makeshift punch and my hammer. And now that does get rid of the bottom bump stop. All I've done is just put that stamped out piece back into the, whatever that outer cage. You can see I bent the outer cage by hammering on it, but no harm done really, because that bottom bump stop wasn't hitting anyway. So you only need one bump stop, and that fixed it right there. But they gave me $100 back on the entire toolbox because these slides are not very good. They're all kind of close on that bottom cabinet. So if I don't think that they would all hold 100+ pounds. I don't, because you can push down on the drawer and see that it'll catch or not. And I got a lot that will catch. So the slides are just not that great. That's the weak link, I think, on the toolbox. There I'm showing you the rivet that was messed up from the first video. They told me Harbor Freight told me just to do that, what I just did. Just take off the defective part. So a lot of these things really spoke to me when I was there at Harbor Freight. I got the glove dispenser because, I know that when I was in school learning about automotive technology, my teacher said that dirty oil will cause cancer. That's the stuff you do not want on your hands. Clean oil, you can bathe in it. You'll be all right. And look at this. The gloves don't even fit in the dispenser. This is the biggest size glove that they sell at Harbor Freight in nitrile. Doesn't fit at all in their dispenser. I don't know how that makes any sense, but I don't know what you would put in that dispenser because their own gloves don't even fit in it. But I constantly wear gloves. and you can see that there was guards on the magnet so it doesn't scrape up your toolbox. But yeah, I'm not one of those guys who just, loves to get dirty and have oil all over his face and his hands, because it will soak into your skin, and your hands will crack, and that's a carcinogen. I mean, you don't want that on your hands. It's been clinically proven to cause cancer. There's another tray that just holds tools on the side, which is pretty convenient too. But yeah, I always wear gloves because that piece of knowledge was instilled in me that dirty oil is no good. It's soaking up fuel, hydrocarbons, grit, metals, pieces of metal particulates in the engine, and that soaks into your skin when you get dirty. But see this part in the light? I'm going to point to it. It looks like there's almost rust underneath the paint, and that's the tool holder. It's just very bubbly, and I mean that's Harbor Freight for you right there. So this thing, I tested it out on the laundry machine. I'm sure this would probably irk a lot of women. Right next to the snuggle, you got the liquid wrench and the WD-40. So probably doesn't make a lot of sense to them. But for me, these flowers next to my toolbox doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. See how this thing is warped on the top? That's just look how this thing is warped. This, again, we're dealing with Harbor Freight, so you got to expect these things. It's not. And I think why that happens is because the tools or the machinery that they use to make their products in China are used beyond what other more reputable companies or manufacturers would use it beyond the service life of. So you get great variations. Look at these two things are the exact same product. They're right next to each other. They don't line up. See the difference? That gap in between them? That's because the dye that you use to stamp out things, it wears out. Look at how different these things are. The curve on them is so different, but they're the exact same product. You have a lot of that variation in Harbor Freight tools because the standards that we use in America, this is what I've read, the standards that we use in America as far as replacing the tools that make the tools, those standards, you get warped stuff. The tools, the dyes wear out that you're using to stamp things, and this is what you get. You get a lot of variation in the product in the end when you use those dyes beyond their service life. But that's what you sign up for when you buy Chinese stuff, I guess. They're trying to cut costs as much as possible. That's why it's being made in China. So look at these flowers next to my toolbox. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And they're pretty ugly too. I mean, so believe it or not, these little $3 stickers actually made me feel differently when I saw that box, because all that value or perceived value in that brand name, even I was impressed, and I put that sticker on there. Even I was impressed when I walked by it. But these are real badges that you can buy, and I like the gold ones. The gold and red looks really good, and they're on this site. And there's two different versions that they have there. There's a pin version, which I highlighted a second ago, and there's a seal version, which I think means sticker. Some crazy lost in translation attempt at communicating that it's the sticker version. But you can see on the pin version there's a couple reviews written in, I don't know, some sort of Asian language, and it is on the pin version of the product. So maybe they were saying, damn these pins, I didn't want the pin version, I wanted the sticker version. I've actually run those reviews. See, there's the pin part. You got it's kind of buried in there. So maybe these guys are pissed because they received the pin version of the Snap-on logo, and they needed the sticker version. I've actually run those reviews through Google Translate, and it's just a bunch of gibberish, as far as I can tell. But that's a good stocking stuffer right there. Is that logo? Now there's lots of logos on eBay, but they're not gold. I think the gold and the red really go together well. 3000 or 2000 I can't see because I edit in a lower quality video. But when you type in gold onto the Snap-on logo, there's pretty much nothing. You got to go to that Chinese site. And that's a perfect holiday gift. And I don't even know what I pressed right there. That was some type of computer scientist page or something. Anyway, yeah, that's a perfect gift. I think that's what I want for Christmas. I know that, or for my birthday, is those gold real logos. And once you step up to the echelon of Snap-on gear, even a fly on your box is gonna irk you. When I talk about my box, and that's just stickers on it, I refer to it as a Snap-on box now with those logos. And even a fly on my box is a problem. So, let that be a warning to any of these creepy crawling critters that try to encroach on my stash there. And I would like to give a final shout out to this dog who really came through and made it happen for me, right on time. I really appreciate that. So that is really truly man's best friend.